Grab some emails. Kind of the response I expected. See what it says. Doctor, I keep saying I'm not a doctor. But thanks anyway. Where's that horrible static sound coming from? Okay, so colors. We want colors. Start with the darkest thing, as usual. The hair and this top. These are the darkest things. Okay, the light is over here somewhere, so Oh dear, my pen is not working. Okay. And then the sleeves are gonna be like beige, or I'll leave them white maybe and make the skin. I'll worry about that when I get there. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest, when it comes to sketching and art. I figure it out as I go along. I mean, I've been drawing amateurly for like 2 or 3 years. About 3 years now. When I started out, like I look at my first profile pictures, they are they look like kids' drawings. So every drawing I'm pushing myself a little more. I'm like saying, okay, I'm gonna try and accomplish an effect. Like I'm gonna try and accomplish a level of realism I haven't accomplished before. So that's what I mean when I say I don't know what I'm doing. Like every time that I draw a piece, I'm tackling something that's bigger than what I'm used to. I still haven't really tackled colors. I've started playing around with colors every now and then, but I haven't really gotten serious with colors yet. So everything has been black and white these past 3 years. Like little bits of color I've added to certain pieces. I don't know, I feel like I destroy my art pieces when I start bringing the color to it, so I'm a little bit nervous about adding colors. I'd love to be able to work with colors without ruining my art. All in time, I guess. So I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The point of this basically is to create a time-lapse video. Like when I'm done with this art piece, with this portrait, then I want to time-lapse it. Put all these little streams together. And use it as an ad. So I want to time-lapse a bunch of these. I want to sell these portraits. Custom portraits. If anyone is looking for some cool music recommendations, I will recommend that you try out Clan, House of Youth. Fucking brilliant, man. It's a bit unique, it's a bit different, but it's fucking brilliant. They got 2 albums so far. The first one is called Kin Fables, and the second one is called Seelie. Interesting little note about that word Seelie. It is one of the fairy courts. So you got Unseelie, which is the winter fairy courts, and the autumn fairy courts, and Seelie is the summer and spring. Yeah, they got some interesting fae vibes going on in their short films. Basically, Clan or House of Youth is like a group of artists, like a group of students of art, of film and music. Yeah, and they're collaborating, making little short films and these backing tracks that go with it. It's fucking cool. The whole thing that they're doing is fucking cool. Yeah, I don't have permission to use Clan's music as background music. I have permission to use this music that I've got going, Adrian von Ziegler's music. But I am listening to Clan. So you guys are listening to Adrian von Ziegler, and I'm listening to Clan. So I need to put like vines on the skirt. I need to have like vines and leaves and shit on it. It's also like a beige color. Hey, Big Chewy Felson, this is my partner that I'm drawing. Aziza Azura. You can find her on Twitch. She has her own channel. That's her handle. I just sent it. Okay. You have talked to her on here before. She's very, very nice. I like the pose, like an ancient ceremonial dance or something. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting as well. And yeah, she's a very nice person. She's such a beautiful soul. Such an amazing woman. And yeah, this pose... it looks very mystic. I'm gonna put the moon and star like next to her hands, as if she's like holding them up. She's a lot nicer than me, actually. Hey, Prab K, welcome. Yeah, when I say she's a lot nicer than me, I mean like when she gives advice, she's very gentle about it. And when she reads tarot, she also breaks the news very gently. I'm quite crass about it. Maybe it's just... yeah. That's what I mean, is that she is trying not to offend, and I'm not concerned about offending. She sees very clearly. And a lot of the time she won't say what she's thinking. Like if someone is being nasty or rude in the stream, she'll be very nice about it. She'll be very gentle about reprimanding them. Or someone will be like trying to teach her something that she already knows, and she'll be like, oh yes, that's so interesting. She won't let on that it's not new information. Making sure the rubber's clean. the eraser so that I don't leave smudge marks on the page. That is what makes women so underrated as funny people. It's like a deep sarcasm they've learned to get along. Occasionally I've reflected back on a conversation with a woman and I realized she was laughing at me and I did not realize. Lol. Yeah. But you'll be surprised. If you listen closely, you'll discover that there are some men who have that same deep sarcasm you're talking about. It's very draconic. I love it. But tell me more about this instance where she was laughing at you and you didn't realize it. Like, were you like mansplaining and she was just like smiling and giggling? I can't recall a specific example, just the feeling of giving my perspective with some presumption that it's of any interest or in agreement, and a woman nodding, smiling, saying, "Yeah, sure," and later realizing she is telling the story of this clueless person she met. Yeah. Have you never done that? I do that a lot. I don't find it necessary to confront people about their mistaken presumptions, or like flat earthers telling me that the earth is flat. Yeah, sure. Oh, that's so interesting. I would never have thought of it. And then later being like, Jesus Christ, that has no idea. Have you never been the one to do that? Ah, you have for sure. You've worked in retail and coffee shops. Yeah. I've never been in retail, but coffee shops and restaurants for sure. Just nod and agree. So what do you do now? If you're not working in a coffee shop, what do you do now for your living? Just out of interest. Yeah, pencil sharpeners are for the weak and decrepit. I don't use a pencil sharpener for my art pencil. I like having the angles. Like, you might ask why not use a pencil sharpener? So I like having the angles, like having a little flat side and different points on it. It allows me to get diversity, diversity in the depth and intensity of the lines that I draw. More than that, pencil sharpeners have this nasty habit of like snapping off your sharp tip. Like, it gets sharp and then it just like splinters off. So you need a job actually. You draw caricatures at an event on occasion this time of year. Okay. Is it like an art event? Or just like a market kind of vibe where people go and provide their offerings, maybe busk, maybe sell some crafts, maybe offer drawings? But it's really interesting to hear that you have like an artistic inclination, that you draw. Would love to see some of your drawings. Love to see your art. Why are you whining, Jen? A fair, okay, that's pretty cool. And they're gonna host it again this year? Festival, yeah, all the usual events are back on this year. So they haven't been, like COVID or whatever shut it down for a while. So there are also like various events around here where people do that sort of thing. Well, not really fairs, but like, I'm thinking, where could I go to draw caricatures and shit and sell it at events? There are a lot of different types of events here where one could do that kind of thing. There's like, they've got these, I don't know how familiar you are with like the ancient pagan celebrations, the sabbats on the 8 points of the wheel of the year. Lita, Luchtnasad, Mabon, Samhain, Yule, Imbolc, Ostara and Beltane. So we have many of those sabbats celebrated here. Lita, Mabon, Yule and Ostara. They don't celebrate Beltane, Luchtnasad, Imbolc or Samhain, not yet. Maybe someday they'll bring those in. I guess it's just too much to do so many events a year. To do 8, it's just too much for the organizers who do it. And I'm thinking those would be like a perfect place to sell, to do what you do. I know it doesn't really help you because you're not here in South Africa. But yeah, just some ideas. Anywhere that there are people, yeah. Well, it brings up a little note that I want to say. It doesn't matter what you choose to do, as long as you do it consistently and with commitment, it will result in abundance and it will secure you. So if you want to sell caricatures for a living, you can do it, and you can do really well doing that. You just gotta commit to it. Keep doing it. Go to all the events. Sell online as well. You can turn it into a serious livelihood. It'll take time, but yeah, as long as you're consistent with it. Jenna, what's up? I'm good, thank you. Nothing too fantastic going on. There was some weird shit happening yesterday though, like it's like the whole neighborhood went absolutely batshit crazy. Like the guys that live this direction, I think that's like west, yeah, it's west. They were driving motorcycles around doing donuts in the fields at like 8:30 at night in the dark, and people were chasing pigs around in the dark as well. And there was yelling, like someone was screaming in the distance. There was someone screaming in rage. I felt the energetic disturbance myself. Like I realized something weird happened. Some kind of cherry popped. And a lot of these guys just didn't know how to cope with the emotional excess they were experiencing. But how you been doing, Jen? You've had a few pig chases in your neighborhood here as well? Farm across the road? Yesterday's energy was bad for you too. Very interesting. Well, in addition to the weirdness that happened last night, my partner and I, well, she performed like a renunciation ceremony where she renounced religion and yeah, just like oppressive beliefs. It's something that I've done as well a long time ago, but she came up with this idea of her own accord, and I was like, yes, it has been very healthy for me. Like, it was one of the most positive things that I ever did, was a renunciation ceremony of my birth religion and all religion for that matter. So I highly encouraged and endorsed it. And I held space for her through it. And Jen is saying, but otherwise peaceful. Just spending the sunshine here with my babe. Amazing. Exclaim! Welcome! At least you're back. How are you doing? How was at last you're back? How was your Vipassana retreat? It was shit, man. It was shit. Okay, so there's a lot of value that they offer there, but it's kind of like the value is bait in a trap of dogma and cultural tradition. A lot of unnecessary rules. So the experience was quite difficult and frustrating, but I did learn about discipline. I received some valuable discipline lessons, and also, like, when you're living in your own space and you've got all your responsibilities, you don't really do the meditation. You don't really go dive as deep as you could, because you've got a lot of responsibilities to worry about. So having nothing to do except meditate was also very valuable. And then Jenna says, how's the off-grid coming? So thank you for asking. Basically, we're there. I ordered a solar charge controller yesterday, so when that arrives I can start building the rig. I can start putting everything back together. Still missing a battery though. A battery is still something we need, but I'm just gonna use my car battery until I can get a hold of another one. Just gonna put in a regular car battery, and yeah, get a deep cycle battery in the next week or two. So basically we're there, we're almost there. By next week we should be off-grid. The stream should be off-grid. Yeah, so at the Vipassana retreat thing, they talk a lot about being anti-religion. They say this is not a religion, this is not sectarian, etc., etc. But then in the demonstration of their actions and the way they run things, it's like the opposite of what they're saying. It's very, very religious and very Buddhist. Excuse me? I did. Didn't you hear me? Seems that those within earshot are not appreciating my descriptions. Here, I know what I'll do. I'll speak less and just like give a link. Yeah. Yes, exclaim exactly what you're saying there. What is the time of day? It's 3:30 p.m. Okay, so here you go. Here's a link to my review. It's 9:34 for you. It's morning time, just having some tea. Well, good morning. I hope you slept well. Trying to catch up on sleep, really hoping my daughter's new doctor calls. Is he scheduled to call you today? Did you go on your trip, by the way? Or is that still coming? Still happening? Exclaims, says, women are more agreeable than men, and you are quite disagreeable. The psychological, that means that men are more prone to disagree with an occurring situation that's happening. I'm pretty disagreeable too. It's just that I'm not showing it. Psychological terms. Maybe you're right. Women are more agreeable than men. I don't know about that, to be honest. I think that's like up to the woman or the man. What I mean is that I've met some really disagreeable women and I've met some really agreeable men. Jen doesn't agree. You're disagreeable, Jen. Results are in. I found an American doctor in Canada. I'm trying out first before I spend the big bucks. Okay, I see. I see. Makes sense. He's hopeful for a full recovery and you feel good about it? That is amazing. I am also hopeful for a full recovery. The spirit wants to provide healing. The spirit waits for permission. It just wants you to give it permission to perform the healing, and then it happens. Exclaim says, of course, that's two Gauss curve overlapping. The most agreeable are often women, and the most disagreeable are often men. That's why you have many men in prison. I see. So just to be the devil's advocate, here in South Africa, the female prisons are just as full as the male prisons. But you can have agreeable men and disagreeable women, naturally. And I think the more balanced you are, the more you'll be between the two curves. Light can't exist without dark. All about balance, indeed. It's very interesting how the different minds and different paradigms understand the psychology of balance differently. But the fact that you want to be off-grid, for example, is a way of expressing your disagreeableness. Matter of fact, I guess it's a healthy expression of disagreeability, though. I was supposed to put leaves on these things. I guess it's not too late. You think? Yes, healthy. My homeschooling is disagreeable then. For sure. You know how much resistance I have met with, I was homeschooled, and then talking about the idea of homeschooling my daughter. Yikes, you know how much resistance I get from people when I talk about that. So I don't. I've stopped talking about it. Just like I've stopped talking about religion and politics and things like that too. Because people are very disagreeable, men and women, as Exclaim says, and not all of them are expressing it in healthy ways. Agreeableness can be sane, or disagreeableness can be sane, and agreeableness can be insane. For example, punching bag people are way too agreeable. Punching bag people. That's an interesting descriptive term for people. Like, hey, you're a punching bag person. And he's a boxer person. Some parents just don't want to do the work. I see it as a sign of strength and a good parent. Yeah, for sure, I agree. And it fosters creativity, most definitely. It fosters inequality. Whereas like schools are about conformity and unity, lack of individuality, everybody must be the same, dress the same, speak the same. No, homeschooling it's about fostering the inequality of an individual, adapting their education to their characters specifically so that they can thrive at rates they would otherwise not thrive at. Not everybody learns the same. In fact, nobody learns the same. Every one of us is unique. At school, it's an American expression that describes students who just won't defend themselves if attacked or hurt. Interesting. Interesting. I've never met anyone like that. Or maybe I have. I've never attacked anyone who wouldn't defend themselves, or... You know, I don't typically attack people, but I've been attacked, so I guess that's... I'm not a punching bag person, and the people who attack are not punching bag people, so... Yeah, I guess that's why... Only an aggressive person would meet a punching bag person, or know if someone is a punching bag person. When parents can't wait for school to start, you feel sick. I mean, I get it. I understand that children can become like a handful. They can get overwhelming, especially if you're not used to having them around. If you're used to sending them off to school, or if they don't typically live with you. What boggles my mind is how people can get so defensive about the idea of homeschooling. Like, homeschooling your children is fucking up their lives and all their opportunities. People that go on like that, that's what boggles my mind. Like, what? Wait, what? Are you sane? You don't have a big voice, and you don't want to have to. If you don't know respect, then... You're talking about like people who yell at their children, and need to have a big voice to control them. It's the same, it's like... If you yell at a child, they will get used to that, and that's what they expect from you. If you speak softly, they think you're joking because you're used to yelling. When you're serious, you yell. I've never yelled at my daughter. When I say something, I just try and remain serious. So, you know, if I ask her, please don't do that, or if I tell her, please do that, then she will do it or not do it because she knows I'm serious, and that it's for her it's for her benefit. It's not like an act of resentment or punishment. To tell her to do that is something, it's usually to protect her. Like if I say, hey, don't touch the stove, and then she touches the stove anyway out of rebellion, she gets burned. So she learns, okay, Daddy is only trying to like prevent me from getting hurt, and he doesn't yell about it. So I get what you're saying there, Jen. You shouldn't need to have a big voice, and you shouldn't need to speak more than once. If you are respect worthy, your children will respect you. Exactly. If I find myself losing my cool, I get extra sleep that night. Have to go. Happy to see your hands. Thanks for joining me today, Exclaim, and for popping in and chatting, um, helping me understand the curves, the Gauss curves of like male to female disagreeability. It was interesting. And yeah, hope to see you again soon. And Jen says, I always put on meditative vibes and reroute. When I feel overwhelmed by my emotional experience, basically what I do is I just go and lay the fuck down. I just go hide in my room and just lay still for about 20 minutes. Focus on my breath and wait until that wave, that ocean wave of emotion passes. Just not reacting to it. Sometimes it's really difficult, like last night with all that energetic disturbance and people going batshit crazy, so I realized that what I'm experiencing is not so different to what they're experiencing, except I'm just chilling, waiting for the emotional wave to pass, and they're losing their shit. The neighborhood is losing its shit. By reacting to their experience. See, my music has stopped playing. You have to acknowledge that she's 1 in a billion and I'm the only parented. I'm limited. Are you talking about your daughter? You have to acknowledge that she's 1 in a billion and you're the only parent. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is difficult. And Exclaim said that might not be the tip of your iceberg, but that was the tip of your fingers. Lol. Yeah. It's like, you're right, it's like a unique situation. It's 1 in a billion. Yeah, I can only imagine what the emotional tides must be like for you, Jen. When they come and go. How long have I been online here? There is a certain point where I have to do other things. Hour and 15. Time is 4 o'clock. Okay, I got like half an hour. It's the length of it too, the rarity. It's definitely taken its toll. My only thoughts are how to live more peacefully, to get back those years the stress took off my life. That's, yeah. That would be the secret, hey? If we could undo aging. But who knows, you know? You might live to be 146. You might not even notice that your lifespan has been reduced. Do you have to? Who knows? Who knows? You can go back to stressing. If you worry that you might live too long, go back. You can go back to stressing and take a few more years off of your lifespan. You know, I'm kidding. And take what you get, yeah. That's the best attitude to have, eh? To accept the reality as it is. You feel much more peaceful than previously. That's amazing. I remember that time when you came in for a reading. You were stressing balls, big time. I'm really glad to hear that you have found some peace since then. That's beautiful. No longer afraid. Figured some things out. Tell me about that though. Tell me what it is that you discovered that helped you alleviate your fears. I mean, I've got my own methods for combating fear, but you know, it would be interesting to reflect and hear about other perspectives and other tactics. Maybe you can, maybe I can share your experience with someone else and it turns out to be exactly what they needed to hear. So I'm gonna make roasted chicken and deep fried potato chips for dinner, along with something else. Maybe suggestion? Don't know what else to put with it. I could make some creamed spinach. I could roast some butternut with the chicken. Maybe I'll do both of those things. Oh, I see. You did some calculations on what your ex can take in the divorce, and it's nothing. I figured he could take my stability. I'm also just trusting that this is the right doctor. That's interesting, because the way my mind works, the way my brain works, is that it constantly stresses about the thing, and it doesn't matter how much I rationalize it. It constantly stresses about this thing. So if I'm worried that my ex is going to take away my stability, then I can calculate it and see, okay, actually that's not the case, she can't hurt me, but then my mind just keeps going back to that fear. And the only way that I'm able to cope with it is to acknowledge, okay, sure, maybe it's going to happen, maybe it's a possible future, and that's okay. I'm productive enough and creative enough, that I can apply my ingenuity and overcome whatever obstacle I'm faced with, even if that reality is true. And then I say, okay, now I've acknowledged that it's true, but I'm still going to hope for an easier route. I'm going to hope for a better route. I'm going to say, okay, I'm afraid of this reality, I acknowledge it might happen, but I'm still hopeful that she's going to be understanding and reasonable. Even if it's possible and the chance is there, I must be strong. And getting more sleep. Oh, I see. So that's also helping. You are a little exhausted from lack of sleep. That is shit. That living on lack of sleep is fucking demented, man. It hurts. It hurts so much. Like on a deep fucking level, it hurts. If he wants to take what's meant for his child, then he must live with that. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Sad world. But let's hope that it's not the case. Let's hope he's reasonable and has a conscience and won't go out of his way to sabotage your efforts to help your child and his child. Yeah, it does. Makes your mind go all wacky. I start getting like visual distortion and hallucinations and cuck. I should probably get offline because these bloody electricity service providers are shutting off the power at 8 o'clock. And my partner still wants to stream. And it takes her about an hour or so to set up and get ready. And then she'll probably want to stream for 2 hours. So 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. Okay. Yeah, I should get off. We're running out of time. How does that song go by Muse? And our time is running out. Our time is running out. And then stress starts with no sleep. Best of luck and nice drawing. Thank you so much. It's coming together. When I first streamed, when I first did this thing, when I started, like you couldn't see that I was even marking the page. You couldn't see anything. And it's like every day that I do it, it comes out and it's easier to see and it's more distinct. My OCD compels me to finish filling in all of these little leaves before I end the stream, so I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna fill them in again with ink later. Next time. Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Like yesterday, the universe didn't allow me to stream 30 minutes max. Didn't even get to do any readings for anyone before the network got shut off. And the day before that, the electricity service provider wouldn't let me stream, putting the power off 3 times in one day. For 2.5 hours at a time. Okay. Thank you very much, Jen. Thank you for, visiting, popping into the stream, chatting with me, giving me company. Hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow. Let's see, is there anybody to raid? No, there's nobody to raid. Okay. See you soon.